Okay, I think I'm live. Just going to spend a minute waiting for people to jump on. Hopefully this is live and working. So, yeah, just wanted to do another live stream. Last week was heaps of fun. So, just wanted to see if anyone wanted to hang out this week, have a bit of a chat. I've got a few 2022 ski boots to follow up on. There's some new ones we can still look at. Also, yeah, happy to answer questions, have a chat, whatever you feel like. Now, I'm calling this one Boots and Beers because a few people were having some beers last week and just chilling out, enjoying the stream. And yeah, I really enjoyed it. So let's do another one this week. I won't actually be able to jump on for a couple of weeks from here. So let's just see if we have a good one. Now, I've stopped drinking this year, so the beer I am having is a non-alcoholic ginger beer. I know that's pretty piss weak, but hey, what can I do? If you're having a nice beer, let me know what you've got, and let's get into it. So also, if you have any tips on my streaming abilities, I know that was a problem last week, so I'll see if I can fix that. My money on is I still probably am no good at running a live stream, but we will see. So nothing feeding through yet. So anyway, I'll start. Let's do an overview. Now, Evo published an article on all of the new 2022 gear that they have just run through. So I'll share screen there and we'll take a look at some of the boots. I'm just going to swap that one. 1 second. Okay. So we can start with this one. This is a new boot from Head. It is next year. And so we're looking at one called the Formula. So this boot's based off the Raptor and is more of a consumer-friendly recreational version of the Raptor, which is pretty cool. I'm not sure if they actually needed to build this boot, but at least it's going to be a pretty good, solid, performance skiing boot. Looking at that picture, we can see the two models there. We've got the 120 on the right, which is a standard 100 millimeter last. And then on the left, it looks like there is the RS, which is a 98 millimeter last, I believe. So, yeah, just looking at a really good shell based on the Raptor with their liquid fit liners. So that could be a pretty cool option. Next up, let's go to the next tab. And this is K2. And so this is their new BFC boot, completely rebuilt by the sounds of it. I'll just read their quick write-up. So, yeah, brand new overhaul of the BFC line with updated tooling, branding, and a full redesign. Focused on improved out-of-the-box comfort, these boots have brand new liners, 15% reduction in weight, and a promise to ski better. So, yeah, really good option there for the broad-fitting boots that BFC has been a winner. So, again, updated and new version of it is only a good thing. Okay, let's go the next ones. Okay, and here is just a little bit better look at the new Dalbello. So we were talking last week about the Quantum Free. So there's the different Quantum boots. The Quantum Free are the new ones to the right-hand side. That traditional Quantum has that boa lacing down on the lower part, and then this rope lacing system up top on the cuff. And this Quantum Free beefing it up, going to a 2-buckle boot. And yeah, looks like a great improvement on that one. What else have they got here? That is the colorways of the new Lupo and the updated Krypton. Nice and solid boot there. And the Chakra, looking at tech inserts, Intuition liners, and then Pantera and Pantera Women's. Okay, so moving right along. And here is just another closer look again at the Cochise. So again, we had a quick look and preview at this Cochise model last week. But this is just showing better images of that T-ride mechanism, being able to be fully locked out. And the liner. So again, a really solid option. What have they done to this one? So you're looking at 99mm last. Shell is asymmetrical anatomic, where they've changed the shape internally. New T-ride mechanism, new CAS liner, and new LV Pro Cochise women's with 115 flex. So I did hear that they changed the cuff plastic on this boot as well. So that's interesting, having maybe a lighter weight plastic, but whether that's a bit flimsier is yet to be seen. Okay. And then a better look. This is the range of the new XT series from Lang or Lounge. And these XT Tour Pro, XT3 Tour Pro, Sport and Tour. Yeah, they look awesome. Those colorways. And you're looking at 1,300 grams on these boots. So it's super light. That is one I really want to get my hands on and test out. So as soon as I can ski in that, I will be doing so. And then the rest of the series, that new XT3, and you've got a 140 Pro model there too. So that is pretty burly. What else can we look at? I think there's just a couple more to go through. And I haven't got any chat coming through yet. If you guys are in chat, can anyone type something so I can test it's working? Also, let me know if audio is okay. The Speed Machine, the Nordica, this has been a new boot that they've produced. Well, Speed Machine's been there for a while, but it looks like they've done some upgrades to it. So I'll have a quick read about what they've done. The Speed Machine 3.0 comes in 130S, 120, 115, and 105 women's. It has an updated fit, but still at 100mm last. Includes a new Triforce frame, a new 3D cork liner, and new customizable 3D flex technology. So whatever that 3D flex technology means, I have no idea. Also, a new Pro Machine added. The 130 has stiffer plastic. And they've added new models of the HF. So that new rear entry they did for the previous season now has a few more in the lineup. Again, not sure whether that's required. It's a pretty sort of one-option boot there for the guy that needs it. So I don't think they'd be really too worried about flex options in that boot, but they must have seen a need for it. But yeah, there's the Speed Machine line. Triflex construction or technology. So yeah, I'll have to have a chat to the Nordica rep to see what that is all about. I assume they're usually meaning 3 different densities of plastic they're using to provide the flex properties of the boot. So we'll see, but they look pretty good. And audio is good. Thanks, William. Appreciate it, mate. see what else we got here to look through. We've done the BFC. So let's just have a quick scroll from the top, because we're also seeing some really cool new skis for next year. And I'm pretty pumped looking at the K2 line. Black Crows look to be pretty similar to what they have been. Blizzard, pretty slick looking. There we have a couple of updates to the Hoji. So what do we got? Updated Hoji Pro Tour. 1400 grams Pro PU version. So a really solid boot. Pretty light for a PU touring boot. So that is pretty sweet. And then it looks like this Dynafit DNA is a really ultralight version. Again, pretty lightweight, going up against other boots in that category. Not really my realm. So if you guys have any skis picked out for next year that you're already pretty psyched on, let me know what you're getting. There's the new full tilt colors in some sharper image. And those Reckoners, that's what I'm pretty stoked on. I'm actually really liking the look of those 112s. I think they will be a pretty awesome ski to jump on. Also probably the Prodigy. Yeah, they're just saying as well with Lang, updated RX lineup, new footbeds, new reactive boot tongue, new buckles, grip walk on all boots as standard. So you can see the colorways there on the RX. Generally just a great all-round boot on the RX. A lot of people fit into that one and have a good experience in that boot. So updating little tweaks to improve it. Again, that's all going in the right direction. Yeah, the line skis are probably going to consider some new vision for my next setup as well. Really enjoyed that ski in the previous year. Closer look. Okay, that's a look at the inner shell. That must be where they're talking about that Triforce. Let me just read that again. Is it Triforce? Yeah, Triforce frame. Customizable 3D flex technology. If anyone has a bit more of an idea of what that is, I'd love to know. Yeah. Almost like a honeycomb construction with two different plastics as it's injected. Pretty cool. And obviously that red frame, I guess Triforce, you can see that red frame going in three directions. So almost like a stiffening, maybe with a more dense PU. And also it looks like they're incorporating this Triforce in their liner. So maybe essentially that's an idea of having a consistent sort of stiffer zone through the back of the boot there. I don't know. I'm not 100%. I'm just spitballing. But yeah, it looks pretty cool. Black Ops, awesome looking ski. And then Salomon again. We've got a couple of updates to the S Pro. So new liners and grip walk soles as standard. Now, I don't know why they'd need to update the liner. The one they had on last year's, in my opinion, pretty awesome. Super comfy. So what they've done to it, I don't know. Let's hope it's just for an improvement. Yeah, great boot. That's the 1/3 model. Pretty cool colorways. And then I think shift remains completely the same. MTN. I do love that S-Lab colors, that red and blue. And it is reminding me of something. I can't think what. So if that colorway, if you know what that's been on previously, throw that in the comments. But yeah, I might update to that just for the improved colors. Thoughts on the new Sth Binding? very good question. I don't have any yet because I haven't even read about that STH binding. Let me get back to the page. So the STH 16, I used to run this STH 16 binding on every ski I had, probably, I don't know, 6 or 7 years ago now, before I transitioned onto the looks. And I always loved the STH, felt it was pretty bomb-proof, loved the adjustment on the wings, on the toe piece, and having that 5 screws in the heel piece just made it really reliable and solid. So it looks as good as the STH 16 has ever been. What are we looking at there? Power switch. So transfer switch. So is that just for the MNC going between different soles? Looks to be the case. So it's keeping that AFD. If you've got any comments on the STH, let me know what you think as well. But yeah, it looks pretty burly. I think the orange colorway will really match some skis quite well. So until I know more about it, I can't really throw out much more of an opinion. But yeah, always a big fan of the Salomon binding and boots. Skis, I don't know. They've gone funny with their ski line. I kind of like the stance. That was all right when I skied on that. This QST blank looks interesting too. But yeah, they've really narrowed up their options, and yeah, apparently makes more or less sensitive. Oh, okay, interesting. That is cool. I want to take a closer look at that as soon as it is available. Cool. So that's basically the rundown there. What else? The only other thing I really found perusing the internet this week, bit of an article here on different plastic colors. I guess these plastics companies shop around to the boot guys and decide on what color schemes they're going to put in their plastic blends that they offer. I always thought that decision would be made up by the boot companies themselves. So whether they get full choice on that, I just found it an interesting thing to read through. And yeah, they're actually going around to ski stores and getting opinions on what they think they should do in the future, 2 years ahead on colors, which I found pretty weird too. But yeah, interesting anyway, especially in the fact that, yeah, I've never come across that happening of someone asking what color boots that they should produce in the future. Seems to be a little bit more of a fashion choice more than a practical choice. And yeah, anyway, kind of interesting. All right, so let's just throw it out to questions. If you've got anything you want to ask me, more than happy to interact and answer any questions. Really going to try this week. I noticed last week I was tapping on the table and doing some stupid things, so I know that can sort of ruin a stream. I'm going to avoid trying to do that. But yeah, have you been skiing today? If so, how was it? Heard there's a bit of power around in a lot of the American resorts. So I'll probably stay on for another 5 minutes if no one wants to throw anything out at me. Thoughts on Bodie Miller skiing on full tilts? Yeah, well, why not? Don't know if they're sort of, I mean, Bodie's not really, I don't exactly follow ski racing much, so I don't know for sure, but I assume he's not really racing anymore. And it's probably more for just skiing around. And Yeah, I mean, full tilts are great. Some boot fitters, like to hate on them, but I don't hate on them at all. I think they're a great boot. They have their purpose. I think I remember reading about Bodie getting on full tilts a few years back, and he actually would bolt the cuff at the back, add a couple of extra bolts to really stiffen them up further. And you can obviously imagine why. He knows how to crush a boot and wants that little bit extra power. So, yeah, all power to him. That's a good thing. Unless there's some things I don't know, if he's sponsored by them now or something, or he's out there doing some race training still in full tilts. But, yeah, I haven't heard about that recently. Did everyone watch the X Games last week? Sort of a different event, not much of a crowd there, but yeah, I think it all still went pretty well. Good to be able to have some skiing to watch, sitting here in summer, dying, wishing I was able to go out. When all buckled up, I have 1 finger gap behind my calf, about 1 to 2 inches deep. Should I fill this space? Ooh. Felt like I was bouncing off my cuffs yesterday. Yeah, so whether you need to fill the space is sort of like, it's going to be a question of feel for yourself. So I think filling as much of this space is a good thing. It's one of the features of the dual straps is, allowing that inner strap to tighten up your liner so you don't have any voids between leg and liner, taking that extra space away. So you're not bouncing a lot and sort of in between front and back of your boots is a good thing to fill up that space. Also, if you are over flexing, it could be a sizing issue. And so you can also take space away with a tongue shim from the front, which is going to help lock you back. So if you find like there is a lot of space as you're flexing your boots, sometimes it's a problem, other times it isn't. But yeah, I'd say if you can do something with that to tighten it up and see how it goes. A quick test is just use your regular power strap and do it up on the liner before you close your boot buckles and see if that helps. Yeah, that's going to be a really good way to test that out. Also, if you're not using a spoiler on the back, that's another way to take up some volume, and it will get you a little bit more forward. So take that into account when you're testing out that too, because it can throw your stance if you're doing that. But yeah, thanks. Great question from Greg. I've got booster straps with those inside the boot. The space was there. Okay. So yeah, I think if, you should be able to crank them pretty hard with a booster. So definitely, mate, like I think you've got to then instead look to try a bit more, try with the spoiler to take up that volume at the back, or there's just a cuff sizing issue. You could maybe take some of that space away with a liner. You may be able to adjust your buckles so you can get them a bit tighter. So there's probably some modifications you can do with your current boots, but also it's possible you may just need to get into a lower volume boot. Yeah, definitely try a few things if you can first, without having to run out and buy a new pair of boots. It's kind of an expensive exercise. But yeah, if you've got a booster on the inside and you're still flexing, getting that much gap behind your leg, you may need to address that in other ways. Okay, we've got Edgar. Are Rossignol and Lang boots the same? They are sort of the same. So they're made in the same factory, but they are not made the same. So they're generally sharing molds on some of their models, but you have got completely different teams building the boots. They're putting different tech, they're choosing their own plastics, they're two separate brands, but they basically share a factory, a space, and I'm sure that the boot fitters, the boot engineers do speak a lot with each other, and there's a bit of interaction going on there. But from how the boots are built, they've got their own geometries they're using. They're putting their own liners in the boots. They are designing and changing up what they offer in their boots, and two completely different brands. So they're in the same family, but they are not the same boot with different branding on them, if that makes sense. Okay, Jolinator. Loving my Patriot straps. Broke one the other day. Grommet in the strap split in half. They have about 40 ski days on them. What's the best fix? Just use a bigger washer. Awesome, man. First up, thanks. I'm stoked you're loving them. The grommet fell. Man, sorry to hear that the grommet's fallen out. Definitely add a bigger washer to keep them functional. But if you send me an email to sales@patriotfootbeds.com, I'll warranty those out for you, man. No problem whatsoever. Yeah, don't want things like that to be going wrong. So that's great to hear. Feedback like that helps me go to the people making my straps and go, all right, let's see if we can find some stronger grommets if needed. But that's the first I've heard of one breaking out. So thank you. All right, we've got JS. I've been told on some forums that you shouldn't heat mold the new atomic liners at home. Any truth to this, as I want to do this on my own? There could be a little truth to it. Definitely, you know, if they're one of the best guys to ask, depending on what forum you're on. I know he's on a lot of new schoolers, is One Nerdy Kid. If you can look him up, that's Matt Manser. If you're talking about the Mimic liners, I wouldn't have thought it would hurt them too bad to do a heat mold, especially if you're doing it. I recommend the rice method if you've got to be a bit careful. Filling the sock with rice, just allowing that radiant heat once that rice is heated up to soften the foam. And the other thing is, do you need to mold them? Can you just go ski them in? Or are they giving you a bit of trouble? But if you want a direct answer on the atomic liner especially, he's the guy to ask because he makes them. I would have thought you're totally fine to do a bit of a rice molding on them. You can't do too much damage. But if there's something specific, unless you're talking about next year's injection molded liner, if that's the case, yeah, there's no way you're going to be able to do that at home. They probably won't even offer the material that will fill in the injection liner. It'd just be a ski boot store option only. Jolinator, I'll shoot you an email with some pics. Can't add link here. No worries, man. Thanks heaps. And then we've got, they are totally awesome though. They have made the flex on my Dow Bellows silky smooth. Perfect. That's what I like to hear. So yeah, great, man. Thanks a lot. Do you know why the Dalbello Krypton has tech inserts without a walk mode? I have no idea why you would do that. That just seems so counterintuitive to me. Like, what is the point of that? Yeah, great question. No idea. Like, Krypton traditionally has been still that three-piece, powerful, you know, solid boot that you're going to ski in resort. You're going to free ride in them. You know, you're jumping off things, you're skiing park. Like, yeah, I don't know. What is the point of that? Like, why do you want a tech binding if, you know, you don't have a walk mode? Surely the Lupos are solid enough for free ride. So, great question. Don't know. Gonna have to ask those Italians what they're doing with that one. That's kind of strange. Then we've got Jay. Yeah, that's what One Nerdy Kid said. I'm talking about regular Mimic liners from this year. Yeah, man. Well, I am not going to go against what he said. Like, they're his liners. He makes them. He knows what material he's using exactly. So if he says you should not be heat molding them on your own, yeah, I would probably heed that advice. As to what they're describing that you should do in the shop that's different, maybe go in and have a chat to your local store if you can. Jolene, got the Dalbello Pantera 100s, Carve inserts, Patriot footbeds, heaven. Ski IQ has gone way up. Awesome. How are you liking those Carve inserts? I've seen them. I spoke to the guy who's the Australian distributor of them, and yeah, he was pretty cool. I haven't tested them myself. I thought it's pretty good tech. Yeah, just love to hear what you think about getting all that data as you ski. JS, thanks, man. Jolinator, killer. Unreal. Okay. Then we have, sorry, Cool Happy. Any suggestions for a stiff but comfortable, hard-charging all-mountain boot for a former racer? Looking to upgrade from my old Raptor 120s. Really good question. If we're looking to keep it at 98mm lasts, do you want to do any touring in them, or are you just looking to have a hard-charging all-mountain boot? Yeah, I really like the Mindbender 130. I really like the Full Tilt First Chair 130. What else could we get you into? You could look at we could go with head if you want to stick with head boots. There's no hike mode on these new. Just going to have a quick look. On the back of the liner for, you can get some J pads to stick to that one to fill in around the ankles. If that works for you, it works. Overall, pretty happy on that boot. Cool. We're down to 4 people. Thanks for joining me, guys. Probably going to go another 5 minutes. If you do have any more questions you want to throw out at me. I think the stream died for a bit, had to refresh. Okay. So that's where everyone went. Sorry about that, guys. I'm not sure what's going on there with the internet connection. Was there any questions I missed, or did we not get an answer from some of the questions I was answering? If you didn't get my answer, just let me know, ask again, and I'll get right back to it. I'm not sure if that was my internet or what was going on there. Love the Carve inserts. Running the external units with the Patriot straps is a little tricky. Sure, I can understand that. And it requires you clip the units each time due to how the straps work. Loving the data Carve gives you. Cool. So you're getting it instantly on your phone? Are you sort of checking it on the lift as you go back up? Yeah, that'd be cool to know. And where are you clipping the outer section of that Carve insert? It sucks if it doesn't work really well with the straps. But yeah, possibly a way that you could address it and maybe customize to where that doesn't occur. The stream died. Damn it. And obviously I'm back on now. If I didn't get a good answer out to you guys, please ask the question again. My internet's usually pretty good here, so I'm not sure why the stream died, and I'm very sorry for that. But thanks for coming back on. Bobo, come again on the Ascendant. Yeah, basically, like, do you mean like you want me to answer that question again, or you didn't like my answer on the Ascendant? Overall, I think it's a good boot. You know, it's walk mode. It's not the lightest touring boot, but it has that capability and it's got that full tilt feel if you want a three-piece sort of touring, but still nice free ride option. Brian Choi missed the dual strap one if you had answered it. Okay, so yeah, I did answer it. Basically, the difference, it's not elasticized like a booster strap. Booster's relying on several different layers of webbing to give the booster a springiness. Now, mine doesn't function that way. There's a little bit of springiness because there's a rubber and neoprene outer strap. So that has a little bit of tension, but it basically helps it hold into place. Now, the elasticness is not working in the same fashion. So with the Patriot Strap, what you're doing is you're tightening in the whole cuff around your leg. So you get that liner to fit nice and close right against your shin, and you also get the cuff to wrap and lock into place. So you're getting a fit around your leg without voids. Now, where the sort of rebound that you get, in compared to just skiing on the booster and trying to get springiness, the rebound you get from the boot itself. So everything fits nice and tight. You flex forward in the boot naturally deforms, bulges, and springs back. And because you have that fit so nice and snug, that gives an awesome feeling, really good response out of them. So I hope that makes sense in the difference. You're not relying on trying to get some spring back out of the power strap. You're flexing the whole boot properly because it's nice and tight on your leg. Okay, I've been using it to record General Ski IQ, which gives you a huge range of data to analyze. I usually just check my info. Awesome. Yeah, I'm gonna have a closer look at them again. Yeah, I spoke to the carve rep here in Oz. I don't know when this cut out, but he was cool. And yeah, I'd love to see more about the data you can get from a full ski day. Be good to sit back with a beer at the end of the day and read through it. Can you briefly explain to me what this whole touring boot explosion is all about? Did these people really climb up the mountain with their boots and unlock position to ski in unexplored areas? So why all these touring boots are coming on the market? If I understand your question properly. Yeah, it's just that's what's expanding the whole ski industry is touring. I was just looking earlier today, people were showing me the lift lines in Whistler. And if I had to stand at the end of that lift line, at the end of the village, there's no consideration. I'd be out touring like that. So anyway, it is like when we look at that, it is something that has expanded a lot. You're seeing a lot more boots and skis made for this factor. It's the whole reason why we're getting a lot of walk modes, why you're getting grip walk soles. We're getting, lighter constructions in boots. So everything's progressing in the right way anyway. That helps regular alpine tech and design. So even if you're skiing mainly just in the resort and want a true downhill boot, these hybrids and these touring boots is where all the R&D is and sort of the advancement of boots anyway. So I think it's a good direction to take. Yeah, so I guess that's the reason why it's expanding so much. And yeah, having that, yeah, it is all about skiing the backcountry and unexplored areas. I'll send you some screenshots and photos of my straps when I send you that. Awesome. Look forward to checking it out. Brian Choi, thank you. Thank you, Brian. Okay, JS. Sorry, man. Yeah. No, 100%, no silly questions. So what you're looking at there is tech binding. So it's bindings with just pin connections, which attach to inserts that are in the toe piece of a ski boot. And what that's doing is basically it's a hinge point. So you can walk uphill on a set of skins. So you're looking at saving a lot of weight when you have a tech binding. It's all for backcountry touring. And now you have bindings like the Shift, or you have the new Duke PT from Marker, where they are a hybrid binding. So you have pins for your skinning when you're going hiking up, and then you can lock over the toe piece and you have a full releasable toe for skiing down, which just adds more confidence when you're skiing, and also good solid feeling. You have a bit more trust in your binding. So yeah, that's all it is all about. It's getting into more side country, back country, and yeah, again, it's the explosion of touring is pushing all that sort of things along. William Shout. Dual straps rock, inside strap allows snug fit of liner, power strap holds boot tied to liner, works on thinner liners. Thanks, William. Brian, what do you think of the Ranger Free 130 versus, say, Head Core 1? Buy the other one I should look at to replace XT 130. I'm pretty much a fan of all three of those boots. The one Fisher boot I was stoked on this year was the RC4 Curve GT. That was the best boot I skied in by far. So that probably goes back to earlier on. Who was I speaking to about replacing some Raptors? Look at that Fisher Curve boot as well. That is one I had a lot of fun skiing in that. It's got that race boot feel and, yeah, pretty cool all-mountain charging boot. Sorry, back to this. Ranger Free. Nice boot. It's good. Between those three, the XT130 is going to be the most solid. The Core and the Ranger probably a little bit softer feeling flex-wise. The Core, you're looking at that liquid fit liner. The Ranger Free had a fairly lightweight, breathable mesh outer liner. It's fit. Key is fit between those two. Functionality and quality, I don't think there's too much between them. If I was to lean to one in that category, I'd probably be favoring the Core just for myself and how they fit for me and what I like. Jay, great explanations. Getting tired thinking about how these bindings are used. You guess that's my 56-year-old back talking. Yeah, it's definitely a lot more work just to have a run of skiing. You also don't get as many laps in through the day, but it is great exercise. And if you want some untouched snow, it is worth the effort. So if you get a chance to do a little bit of it, highly recommended. If you don't do it often, go out with a guide. But it is really addicting once you get the bug. Bobo, your Patriot Strap, is this intended to be over the liner or the boot itself? It actually does both. So inner strap directly on the liner before you do up any other part of your boot. That holds the liner really nice and tight against your shins. Then go up and do your buckles and then finish with the outer strap, locking everything into place. And that is the same question again. I hope I didn't drop out again. But I hope I've answered that well for you, Brian. And it is amazing how fast time goes here. I actually wasn't expecting to do this long. But yeah, I'm having a good time. So keep throwing the questions out. I'll keep answering them. Okay, we've got calf pain with my new Intuition Pro Tongue. Managed to dial in the fit everywhere. WL. Everywhere else? Not sure what WL means. So you throw that out at me if WL means something. But do you feel like it's digging in to the back of your calf? Like the Intuition line is pretty soft. Not really any plastics to worry about. There's nothing really, if you did a mold on them, it's got to be either a height thing, else, yep, LOL. What does that mean? Else, everywhere else. Okay, cool. Fair enough. Hard to answer without seeing it. Yeah, definitely if I can't explain this well or if it's not making sense, email me, info@patriotfootbeds.com. And if you send a picture, it'll be good for analysis. Is there, like, are you noticing the cuff digs in? Did it do it in your previous liner? Have you just replaced it to these Pro tongues? Calf pain, it'll either be stance issue, a digging in issue, or it's going to be a tension issue. Whereabouts in the muscle are you feeling the pain? Is going to be a few of the questions I have for you. So yeah, if it's digging in from underneath, you could possibly do some custom work, to the top of the shell. Or you can manipulate the liner, soften it up, fold it back, try get the pressure off that way. Otherwise, it's going to be a stance deal or how tight you're doing the boot. Brian, man, have more beer. Thank you. I really appreciate that, man. That is very generous. Awesome with the super chat. And yeah, I am just drinking ginger beer. I took 2021 off of drinking, which is a big move for me especially. But that will definitely buy me another one of them. So that's greatly appreciated. Hope you're having a good winter. Whereabouts in Canada are you? So I spent a lot of time in Calgary, also out at Lake Louise. Bit of time through BC and Vancouver as well. You're in Ottawa. Awesome. The capital. Hope everything's going well out there. How's the season? Has the East been getting much snowfall? Hopefully not too icy for you guys. Also, what is your favorite mountain to ski at? If I was going to go through any in Canada, I would have to probably throw out Castle Mountain or Fernie. Probably my two favorites there. When they're firing with snow, they are unbelievable. I've had some really good ski days there. Brian, we got shit skiing. That sucks, man. But at least you're still skiing, you know? Like, you could live in a place that doesn't have any. You know, you make the most of what you got. Bobo, thanks for the chat. Peace out. Catch you later, Bobo. Thanks for joining me. JS, have another two. Man, thank you so much. Appreciate that, Jay. That is unreal. Coming through with that $5 US super chat. $5 US is about 500 Australian. So not really. About probably $7. That is so generous. Thanks heaps. I appreciate that. So yeah, stoked to hear. Here we go. And this is probably my opinion right now too. I want to go to Japan. Typical. They having a monster year and we can't go. Absolutely. The stuff on Instagram I'm seeing out of Japan is just insane. There was high hopes here for a travel bubble of getting over to Japan. And yeah, it's almost worth bailing on here just to go there, just with how good they have had it. There would be some epic skiing there this year and no one to fight against and no lines at all, most likely. So it hurts. I feel your pain. And yeah, Japan is next level. And yeah, with the amount of snow that they've had, Brian's had to cancel his flight. Where was your flight to? Unreal. Were you planning a Japan trip as well? Yeah, I'm so stoked to get back to Furano is probably one place I want to get back to, as well as Asahi Daki. Man, that was some really good skiing. And that's on the cards next year. It's almost a definite. You're going to Sapporo. Yep. So that sucks. I don't know what the rules are if you actually get to Japan, what their quarantining laws are. But I know if we leave the country here, if we go somewhere and want to come back, we are 2 weeks locked up in a hotel. And that's if you can even get back in on a flight, because there's limited amount of flights even landing. And it's just completely insane. So, yeah, there's no ski trips this year. Where are you now? I'm actually in Oz. So I'm in Australia. Yeah, I've spent a bit of time in the States and in Canada when I was doing the Endless Winters. But, yeah, my home is here in the mountains of Australia in a town called Jindabyne. And I am near a couple of ski resorts called Perisher and Thredbo. So, yeah, it is summer for me, and I'm dying. Usually get to travel, usually off on a ski trip this time of year. So it's a long wait. Looks like a few people have had Japan planned this year. It makes me want to weep because it looks like another year of bogong ice and bullet shoots ahead, no doubt. So you're down south in prison, Mexico, in Victoria. Man, I hope they run this year. So that sucked this past season for you guys, no doubt. So you've probably had to wait out a season and a half now. And, yeah, I'm praying for you guys down in Vico, man, that they get the resorts going. It's not all bad. At least you got a bit of good rain down there in Bulla. And make the most of what you can. I know I'm going to get out every day possible, but the workload is going to be huge. But, yeah, praying for a good season ahead, Rock. And, yeah, Dan Andrews can go shove it if skiing does not happen this year. So, yeah, I am down under. Tohoku. Where is Tohoku? I've never been to Tohoku. More of a small resort? Is that is that on the main island or up on the North Island there? Checked all flights from Oz, no go at all. Well, there it is. So, yeah. Bugger. I know some people got over to the States this season, so a lot of Aussies got over there. You can still go for business. You just got to pay the price when you want to come home. So I definitely was thinking about doing that, but it's just the time more than anything. I can't really afford to be locked in a hotel for a couple of weeks. Too much is reliant on my attention to keep things afloat. So, yeah. If anyone did go on a ski trip, let me know where you got to. What mountains have I skied at in the States? I have skied at a lot of mountains. If we start in California, I've skied Bear, I've skied Mammoth, I've skied Tahoe, so North Star, Heavenly, Squaw. As we go up, I've been to Hood, Baker, Bachelor, Whitefish. I've been to Wyoming, so I've been to Jackson Hole. I've been to Steamboat Springs, Colorado. It's where I did a season there. I've also skied a bunch of mountains in Colorado, Keystone, Breck. Where else have I gone? Park City, Canyons. Yeah, basically road tripped right through the west of the States and, yeah, taken in all the best there. So I feel very blessed. There is still so many areas to explore that, yeah, I haven't even really scratched the surface. But, yeah, love the States, man. Highly planning. I'd love to move there permanently one day. Yeah, current situation, see what happens. I don't know whether that's going to be available again. Who knows? But sure is awesome being there. I love the country. I love the people. Yeah, no matter what the current situation, you work through that. North Honshu, main island, cool. So is that up? Yeah, if you're heading north there. Up in the nuclear area. What was that place called? Where did they get hit with that tsunami? I know that's got some fairly good skiing. That's always looked pretty appealing. I thought, oh, yeah, off the beaten path. Everyone just seems to go to Hakuba and Niseko. So I like going to different areas in Japan. And I definitely Fukushima, that's the area. Yeah, I definitely was even looking at that, but I don't know. Yeah, is radioactive power a consideration? And is it worth it? Two good questions I can't quite answer. It might be worth it. But yeah, if that's up, if Tohoku's up a bit more north, you might even be well away from that anyway. The way the storms roll over from the west might not even be a worry. It might not even be a worry anyway. But yeah, there is some cool places and lesser known. I'm sure that is not a westernized resort at all. Have you skied there before? And yeah, let me know how the terrain is there. I'll be sure to check that out. Planning a trip to Deer Valley next month. No snowboarders. Yeah, for sure. Deer Valley's sick. Actually, the place I stayed at, it was going back a few years. I crashed in a share house of some guys we knew that were over there for the season. And me and the wife, who was just my girlfriend back then, we ended up sleeping in the stairwell. But the house was so big at Deer Valley, but it was the size of a bedroom pretty much. So, yeah, that place is pretty nice. And, yeah, skiing's great. Awesome town, Park City. Being able to ski down into town from Park City Resort and get lunch and then just catch a lift back in from the main street. I was pretty stoked with that. That was cool. Dream ski destination. For me, it is, because I've done so much skiing through North America and Japan and Australia, I've ticked off a lot of dream destinations, to be honest. So next destination for me, I've got to get to Europe. I've got to check out the ski culture of Europe. Everyone who goes over there and tells me what it's like, it sounds mind-blowing. Simple for the culture is so ingrained in skiing. There's so much history there, and the lift system that runs throughout, areas like the Dolomites and, the French Alps. It just sounds incredible, and there's a lot to really catch up on there. So that's my current dream. Got to get to Europe, check out those big mountains. I'm sure I'll be out of my element in a lot of it. A lot of my backcountry stuff's pretty tame in comparison to what they are getting amongst over there. So yeah, I'm not into ropes or mountaineering or that side of things. That's beyond my current level. So that would be interesting to see what they get into over there. And besides that, I'd still love to get to Alaska. One place I've never got to, and everyone knows why. A place looks incredible and still pretty wild and rugged. And yeah, so that would be the other dream. And Alta, yeah, Alta too. Another no snowboarder destination, and terrain there looks next level. I've never skied Alta, so that is on the cards. They've got over 100K of slopes at Fuku. So over 100K, 100,000? 100,000 acres or 100,000 mountains? 100,000 trails? Yeah, if anyone has gone to Fukushima, what's it been like? I think I saw a promo ad with Cody Townsend skiing there. And they were running it as pre-roll on YouTube for ski videos, basically, trying to promote it. That was last year, obviously, or year previous. Yeah. That's it. What's it? That's it. Sick. Colorado finally getting some good snow. 28 okay, no worries. So, yeah, I don't know why anyone in Colorado would be on here right now watching this. I'd be watching the snow cams, getting psyched. I'd probably be early to bed, getting up early for some pow tomorrow. Awesome. Rock, definitely check out Lay Sin. Where is Lay Sin? I will for sure. One of the 100 kilometers. Okay, there we go. So heaps of skiing there in Fukushima. Unreal. Sorry, what was I saying? I've lost my train of thought there. I will check out Lay Sin. It's not ball on ice, very quiet, and so much good skiing to be had. Awesome. My sister went. I'd have to get some hearsay, though. Unreal. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. The future goal to get over to Europe was really to go to the ISPO trade show. Again, hear a lot about that. And that's always on the cards as a reason to get over there. So that would have been the purpose, with a bit of cheeky skiing at the same time. In Switzerland. No worries, Rock. Yeah. Actually, a couple of years back, I've got a mate who has some ski stores in Austria, and I nearly went over there to do a season to work for him doing some boot fitting. And that would have been really cool, but I just didn't end up pulling the trigger and going over there for that. It would have been, other things came up. Would have been an awesome experience, and but it's all on the cards. Have you ever skied Glacier in the summertime? I actually skied 2 full summers in high school in Zermatt. That's how my skiing went to another level. Awesome. I haven't done any Glacier skiing. I was there in spring at Mount Hood, so pretty late in the season, but it was not at Glacier level. But yeah, I can imagine if you can ski all year round, you are going to improve dramatically, especially skiing on that summer snow is probably like skiing on the Australian spring snow. Definitely makes you improve your game simply because it's so slushy, icy in the morning, slushy in the afternoon. Got to stay balanced, stay on your toes, or you're going to get bucked around. But yeah, that'll definitely improve your skiing to no end. And when you get back onto some nice cold, dry snow, you feel like a superhero. Cool. Well, this has been a great hang. Thanks heaps for joining me, guys. This is cool. I'm stoked that anyone comes on and listens to my ramblings. So sorry for the dropout in the stream earlier. I hope my questions got the answers that they were looking for. And yeah, if it cuts out, I'll go back and check the video, and I can follow on next week if anyone wants me to follow up with any of that info. Probably wasn't the best answers for some of you guys anyway. Yeah, cool. Well, if that's it from you guys, thanks again for joining me. Another fun one. I'll see if I can make it on next week. I don't know if I'll be able to. If not, I'll be there. I'll be back on here soon enough. We can do another hangout, a few more boots and beers, and sweet. So thanks for tuning in. I'll catch you next time, guys. Stay rad. I've got more videos coming, so the ones that I've been working on for quite a while will be in the pipeline for the next 2 weeks. So I will see you shortly. Cheers.